Yes. It's kind of a bummer. Well, they would barely do this. All right. Oops. Just sound. Okay. Maybe. Okay. So this is obviously going to be one of the ones where I want the video to be, like pretty. 'Cause I don't want to look at myself. Oh, I wonder. No, if I put it down there. Ooh, I turned my camera off. Why is that so hard? Okay, yay, I turned my camera off because I don't want to be on camera right now. All right. So I'm out to run some errands. Gotta take my car in because it's doing something silly, and uh, a warning light is coming on, and so I'm taking it to the dealer, and it only has like 11,000 miles on it. So obviously, if you really have a bumper to bumper warranty, it should be covered. And I bet it will. It's just that I am worried because I've had so many experiences of companies being fucking dickheads and saying, "Oh yeah, we're actually great, and these are all the things we're gonna do for you. If you ever need help, we're there for you. We're stand behind our things, and we take good care of our customers." So they say those with their flappy, flappy mouths, and they hope that nobody ever comes and says, "Hey, you know what? Something went wrong. Will you help me out?" Because then they say, "Oh, well, you didn't read all the words on that 40-page piece of paper that we gave you 5 minutes to look at." Um, so you know what? You signed away. You're right to actually have that bumper to bumper warranty. But how did that? How it says right here? No, no, you messed it up, or no, you messed up the car. You messed up the car because you didn't take it in the very first time that the warning light came on. And to that, I would say, yeah, but the guy that secured the other location told me that I didn't have to worry about it. Just bring it back if it kept happening. And now you're telling me that because I listened to that guy, now I don't get to uh, I don't get to have that covered. So you're being an asshole. And unfortunately, that's my fear. Okay, I don't really think that's gonna happen. Just I've had so many times when that. So yeah, when companies started to become all about the almighty dollar and profit margins only, and we got to keep our shareholders happy and blah, 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 completely lost sight of any sort of the organizations that used to be like, you know what? We provide a service or a good or whatever, and we do it because it helps people, it supports their lives, and we care about the people more than the number of more than the dollars that go into our account because of it. And you know what? If my company is seen as a success, I am not a completely self-made person. I didn't do all this by myself. You did it with your employees and with the people who were your customers. You didn't do it yourself, you asshole. Just because you had an idea and you put it into practice and it actually worked doesn't mean it's all yours. That means that, okay, yeah, there are people who helped you along the way, like your shareholders. Great. Give them a little piece, but they don't get to be the most important. They're not. They're just the ones who you're honoring because they helped you out along the way. Maybe they have some good advice to give. Maybe, you get let them. But the main point is that you're doing something that you believe is benefiting the people who are on the receiving end. If you're not, you are being an asshole, and stop it. Don't sell shit just to sell shit. Does it take advantage of people's disordered and inaccurate believing system that, oh, everything is transactional and I need stuff? No, quit fucking capitalizing on it, you fucking assholes. Start thinking more about what is for the betterment of humanity. You spent more time and energy thinking about how you could be a good person and how you could use your form of business in a way of actually being a good person instead of just claiming to be a good person and actually helping people. You know what? You deserve to live in abundance. You deserve to be generously compensated for your for your work and your offerings. That doesn't mean it's all in cash, fucking dickheads. That means that it comes in all kinds of different ways. Oh, I want to charge my worth. Oh, I'm the only one who ever had this idea quite like this, so I'm the only one who gets to get paid with it. You didn't have that idea all by yourself. It's every book you ever read and every conversation you ever had and every experience you ever had that other people were involved in. That's how you figured that out. It is not yours. It is something that we all co-created together. If you happen to be the one who's teaching it, great, do it. You might be the very best for the teaching, but don't you fucking go saying that this is all mine. There's no such thing as intellectual property. That was a concept created by people like, how can we make more money? That's all that is. And there are people who wouldn't do it if they didn't have to, but they know the fuckers who are like, it's all about money. Let's steal that idea because the little guy didn't predict it. No, it shouldn't be like that. It should be, wow, we see this amazing idea over here. This little guy, oh, look at him. He's such a good idea, but he's never going to make it without a whole lot of pain and torture and exhaustion. Oh, we want little guy to do that. Hey, we're a big company. We've been successful. Let's help them out. Let's mentor this little company with an amazing idea. Let's maybe support them with some cash if that's what they need. But maybe they just really need to be under somebody's wing for a while and really just, hey, you're doing great. And here, let me give you 50 grand for you to live on while you like sort all this out. Let's talk when you got some questions. Like, that's the human thing to do. The successful company, the successful person turns around and helps somebody who looks up to them and wants to do something similar. But it's not all about the Benjamins. Because if you give generously, guess what? You get things that you really love and want and would benefit from without spending cash on it. I don't know how much money I would need to have. One of these days I'll figure it out. I would need tens of thousands of dollars more every month in order to live the quality of life that I currently live. And that is because I do not pay for everything. You know, I don't steal it, you fuckers. I'm not coming from shadow. I'm coming from the other end of things where I do believe in the positives instead of the darkness. I believe if you only ever seen darkness, of course that's what you're going to believe. But what if it wasn't a flat earth of only darkness, but actually a complete, globe of concepts and ideas and experiences to have. And maybe you're stuck in the dark woods and you need someone to give you a hand and be like, hey, here's what this is. That's how you get out of the dark. You don't leave everybody in the fucking pit and say, hey, you're scaring me. You're crazy. You know what? Maybe that person wouldn't be acting kind of crazy if they weren't exhausted because nobody's looking out for them. Nobody's helping them out because they have this great idea and everybody keeps telling them that they're a dipshit and it's never going to work instead of saying, I don't really understand, but I believe in you. And maybe even if this thing doesn't work out for you, dear, maybe it really is a stepping stone and there's something to be learned. But I believe in you and I know that there is learning here. And you know what? I have resources like you need a place to go and just like be in quiet and just work on your thing. You know what? I'm going to be out of town for a while. Let me hook you up. I'm going to give you some cash and give you access to my car and access to my house. And you get to hang out with my awesome dog. That's how I can help you out while you work on your thing. So there we go. Yes, that's kind of a transaction, but it's not transactional in the fucking cash only sense. It is coming from a place of appreciation where the person who has the beautiful home also has a need. They need somebody to come take good care of their beautiful home and their amazing animals while they're not there. And they want somebody they can trust. So here they see someone like me and they're like, hey, you know what? I really feel that you feel good to me and I'm willing to trust you. Or, hey, you know what? I've known you for a couple of years now. I've seen you make progress on this idea. Sorry that it's been so hard, but you know what? I have some resources that I would love to share with you because that's where I'm at in my life. I am in a place of abundance. I am in a place of comfort. And, of course, I'll always want a little bit more of the fun stuff, but I don't need a lot more. I see you. You will get to a point where you will be an extraordinary success. Let me help you out a little bit. let's check in now and then, but do your thing, man. I just go do it. And there was more of that in the world instead of this dipshit. He's only trying new stuff and never works. He never pulls it off because he's a fucking dipshit. Oh, your idea is dumb because I've never heard it. I've never thought it, so it must be dumb. Why can't people like grow the fuck up and recognize that they don't know everything and that they don't actually see everything and that they maybe have an inaccurate perception of somebody, and perhaps if they gave them a little more trust and confidence, like maybe they could show them, yeah, I fuck up now and then, but I make it right in the end. Like, and no, you're not protecting somebody from, from pain and failure. That's not what it is. It is progress. It is like trying something and ow, I fell down and I scraped my knee, or ow, I hit hard and I broke a bone. Like those things happen in business and in emotions and in relationships too. That doesn't mean it is always to be avoided at all fucking costs. It means there's something there, and if there's something, it doesn't matter what it is, there's something. There's like a message to slow down, or there's a message to like sit your ass down, or I'm sorry that you're hurt but you weren't listening, so you got to just sit here and think. Keep eating, I'm getting wound up again. Where did this fucking idea come from that if you have an idea, if you are a visionary, if you are a creator that no one else seems to understand, where did we get the idea that that means the person with the vision that no one else understands must be the one who's wrong, must be the one we need to smack down, must be the one that we have to say, I've never had that idea, no one I know has ever done that thing, or I see this person over here already doing it, that means that no one else in the whole world could do it better. Pull your heads out of your fucking asses and realize that people need more support. They need more care. They need more trust. And if you don't trust somebody, well, then why don't you investigate that? Why don't you trust them? Are they meant to be in your life or are they not? If they are, maybe work on whatever it was that made it feel like you can't trust them. And then once you can or you can't, you decide what kind of relationship you want to have. And then if you do trust them and you see that they want to do something that they will be that they want to try out, as long as they're not being a total idiot, but they're being maybe like age appropriate and experience appropriate, which means you make more mistakes in the beginning, but they're actually not mistakes. They're actually just steps along the path because you actually can't actually learn everything without any sort of pain. But it doesn't have to be as bad as most people seem to make it be, because they stop listening. They don't listen to when it's a small message. They only listen when they get smacked upside the fucking head. So this idea that artists are crazy or broke, or the starving artist archetype does not need to exist, and it would not exist if it weren't for this idea that everything is transactional and only some people are willing to or able to support our artists. It's only once some other visionary sees something and goes, you know what, I love this. I love this so much. I'm going to put it in my house. I love this so much that I am going to pay this artist $10,000, even though they're only asking for $1,000. I'm going to give them $10,000 because I can, and because I know that there have been tens of thousands of assholes who have walked by their shit and have said, "You're stupid." And they have probably put thousands and thousands of hours into every painting that came before this one. And so in honoring of this person's true genius, not just in the transaction, there's one single thing that I'm going to support all those days that he wasn't sure if he was going to make it and he wasn't sure if it was worth it. Here I am saying it is so worth it that I am willing to give you more than you are asking for, because I know that your value is higher than you currently perceive it to be. And I'm willing to pay it forward, but really gift it forward. That's what I mean. It's gifted. What would happen But that's how the artists were treated. What would happen if that's how the geniuses were treated? The people who think differently. What if instead of giving him shit, Einstein, Tesla, I don't know, all the smarty pants that figured some crazy shit out in the beginning, they not only had to work really hard, they often had to do it in secret because everybody was so stupid that they wouldn't fucking listen to them and they wouldn't believe anything that they said until some way they fucking proved it to these childish humans who haven't learned enough yet to that they can learn how to trust an adult from a gut feeling instead of going, well, every adult I've ever been around has been mean to me, so I'm going to assume that every adult I'll ever be around is going to be mean to me, so I'm not going to trust any of them, and I'm going to still continue to be a child at heart, but in a negative and emotional dysregulated way, and I'm not going to believe anybody anything. But instead, if they had listened earlier, I mean, I don't know, who's the guy who cut off his ear? Picasso? Would he have cut his ear off if people hadn't fucked with him so bad? And if he hadn't had all these other, human pains, but they were exacerbated by people being assholes and not understanding him and not believing him, and they have to spend a bunch of energy fighting that fight. There's the artists again. And then there's the geniuses who toil in obscurity until after they're dead and somebody finds their journals or their book or whatever. And again, it happens to be a visionary who finds their things and says, wow, this person's incredible. What a waste that we lost them so young. Would we have lost them if everybody hadn't kept kicking them in the head and telling me he was stupid and crazy? None of them had ever had that idea, and they didn't know anybody who ever had that idea. And what are these numbers you're putting here? And what are these pictures you're drawing? Oh, you think there's things out in space? No, everything revolves around the Earth. You're crazy. Oh, I can't see what you're talking about. Oh, it's just theory, then it can't possibly be accurate. What if we didn't fuck with everybody like that? What if we just went, I don't get it, but I'm willing to, hey, let's just see what happens. I'm going to trust you. And you know what? Again, I've got some resource I can offer. Oh, I see you need some child care. How about I have your kid come over for a while for a play date so that you can rest or, do other things you want to do or work on your genius. What if we did that? What if, oh, I see that you spend a bunch of money on takeout because you just don't have the energy at the end of the day to cook. You know what? I will make an extra batch of things that I'm making and I will freeze it and I will bring it to you. So you have like 10 meals in your freezer. So that on those days when you just don't have it in you, you don't have to get takeout. You can get it out of your freezer and they'll save you 40, 50 bucks. I don't know. Depends. So help each other out, but it doesn't have to be in cash. Oh, I see you had I bet you've been real tired lately. And I want to do something nice for you. How about I give your house a nice deep clean? Or at least I just do the kitchen. I'll do the kitchen and I'll bring my friend over. She's a friend of yours too, and she'll do the bathroom. How about that? Oh, I'll bring one more friend over and they'll do the floors. We'll get your whole house clean in a couple of hours. How's that sound? Can we do that for you? That's how people live more abundant lives. As people come help them with things that they need help with. So if they don't have to spend all of their time on all the things they really truly need, and they are truly the only person that can do it, so the things that other people can do, like cleaning and cooking and house maintenance and car maintenance and sometimes childcare, right? Other people can do and help with that. You know how far it would go if you retired person or maybe somebody who's willing to take some vacation, if you went and picked up, say you have a single mother in your life, you went and picked up her car and took it in and got the oil changed and all the fluids checked and the tires rotated and all that stuff. And it might cost you 150 bucks, but because you are a pretty successful person and you have the privilege of having a job that you can take a day off from now and then without any sort of major repercussions, because guess what? That single mother probably can't. And so she can't get around to getting her oil changed. And maybe she doesn't have 150 bucks to get the oil changed. But God forbid it keeps going and she forgets about it. And then her car fucking breaks down. And then how much does that cost? So if you have the means to do so, it takes some time out of your life so that this single mother that you love or whoever needs some help in this way, that you can give them some time back. You can say, I'm going to give some of the time I have available to cover some of the time you don't have available. And I want to ease your journey just a little bit in whatever way I can. And then they'll say, oh, I can't afford an oil change right now. And you're like, this is my gift, honey. I don't want anything from you. I want to give this to you. I want to spend the time to take your car in to get it taken care of, and I want to pay for it because that's the sort of gift I want to give you today. Looks like it would be really helpful. That's what you do. And that's how that mother gets to live a slightly more abundant life because somebody gifted her the hours and the money it would take to do maintenance on her car, which is not required for her to do it. She doesn't have to be there for these things to happen. Those are one of the ways that you give back without it having to be cash directly to the human. Yeah, she needs cash. Yeah, it costs money. But the time is even more valuable. Okay, I'm done ranting. I gotta go deal with this car thing. And. That'd be so funny if none of it worked.